it's the trade-off between what you'd buy in Incline is not worth what you're going to pay in taxes in California. So for example, like
today we're talking with Lukas Brassie. Lukas has lived both in Incline Village and Truckee, California over the years. He is a seasoned real estate agent that knows quite a bit about both areas. He's an expert in the field. And today we're going to be talking about what it's like to live in Truckee versus Incline Village. Lukas, without further ado, thank you so much for joining. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Thanks for having me on. Yeah.
I appreciate it. So yeah, let's dive right in. So you've lived in both Incline earlier on in your Tahoe career, and then you moved to Truckee. As somebody looking to buy a home in Lake Tahoe or around Lake Tahoe, and they're considering Truckee or Incline, what are the main things they need to consider, or what should be top of mind for them?
The first thing they're probably going to consider is like their lifestyle. So like, what do they like to do when they come up here? For a lot of people, this is going to be a vacation home or a second home they spend a lot of time at. And they already like do certain things when they're here. So they might be more summer focused. They're here a lot more during the summer months than in the winter months, or vice versa. So that would be my first consideration, is like what their lifestyle looks like and how they want that to look like when they live here. Truckee is going to be more beneficial to some people over like Incline Village, for example. So it just kind of depends on really what they want to do when they're here.
What would the benefits, you talked about the benefits of Truckee over Incline. What would those benefits be?
Yeah, great question. So like Truckee, a little bit more, I would call it a more vibrant community. There's a downtown area with like shops and restaurants. It's walkable, bigger community, bigger town, bigger population. You are on the California side, so you're going to have to factor in like, California property taxes, California insurance, which is almost even worse than the property taxes. But your money does go a lot farther on the California side than in Incline Village. Like a $4 million home in Incline is going to be a little bit different than you can get a new construction, big beautiful home in a golf course community over in Truckee, and $4 million will get you a nice home in Incline, but not quite to the standard of what you'd find in Truckee. So those are kind of like expense wise. It's going to be more expensive in Incline if you want something really nice. Don't get me wrong, a $4 million budget in Incline will get you something very nice. It's just not going to be like in the community that you'd find like LaHontan, Martis Camp, Schaefer's Mill, Gray's Crossing, Pine Forest. Those neighborhoods in Truckee are just going to be a completely different product than what you'll find in Incline. So lifestyle wise, getting back to that, like you can get, if you love golf, like, and you want to be in the golf community, those 5 or so communities I just mentioned will be great options because they have all the amenities, obviously the golf course, and you'll have like sports memberships for like the club. There's restaurants inside those communities. There's gyms and spas, and there's even like kids activities that you won't find over in Incline. You're going to be a little bit closer to some ski resorts over in Truckee. So you've got Squaw Valley, Alpine Meadows, North Star, Sugar Bowl, Boreal. Like a good chunk of the ski resorts in Tahoe are going to be right there within like a 15 to 20 minute drive of Truckee. Incline Village, you'll just be a little bit farther away, although you do have Diamond Peak and Mount Rose ski resort, although not as popular as the ones over that I just mentioned on the California side. Still great resorts and available on the Nevada side.
Certainly. So what I'm hearing from you is, your dollar goes further in California. However, the monthly expenses when it comes to taxes and insurance might be more than, let's say you spend on a $4 million home in Nevada, in Incline, right? Your monthly expenses will be higher in California due to those. And also, too, it sounds like the communities in Truckee are more newly built out. They've got more amenities or newer amenities, more things to do. From what I've heard, Incline's a little bit of a sleepier town. We talk a little bit about that. And yeah, who is someone that would enjoy Truckee over Incline?
Truckee over Incline?
Yeah.
Young families, like I just sold an awesome family in Schaefer's Mill. I wouldn't say older parents, are probably in their mid to late 50s. I don't want to date them if they ever listen to this, but they've got grown children that are like out of high school now. So they loved the Schaefer's Mill community. Both husband and wife golf. Their kids golf. They love the downtown Truckee area. They ski. They didn't seem to have too much concern with being right next to the lake. So lake access was not that important to them. More so having like a more vibrant community or more active community is kind of what they were looking for. They're very active. The Incline Village community is very active also, but Truckee, I think just you're going to have a better demographic if you're a younger family with younger kids, or that outdoor lifestyle is definitely going to be very accommodating over there.
Okay, so if you're a younger family, you've got younger kids, you're looking for lots of things to do with people your age or your kids' age, Truckee, you're going to be able to find quite a bit more than an Incline.
Community-wise, Truckee, hands down, much better fit for families. Even for myself, we've got 3 kids now. My wife and I lived there for 3 years, and we only moved 15 minutes away, but like that is still our community. There is tons and tons and tons of families with young kids of all ages that live in Truckee. Incline, they exist.
Sounds like the place I need to be with my wife and our kid.
Yeah, I think you guys should move over there for sure. Just pay your taxes.
Yeah, you were going to say they exist in Incline, but not as prevalent.
I would say the families in Incline are going over to Truckee to hang out with those guys.
Okay. Okay. So in short, Truckee's going to be more geared toward younger families, people looking for that vibrant community, that outdoor community. Incline's going to be more geared toward either A, if you're looking for benefits and state income tax, or B, maybe you're in the older demographic. You don't mind, the older demographic of Incline. Would that be accurate?
For Incline, yeah. I mean, Incline is like a one-stop shop. They have everything you could ask for: 3 private beaches, 2 golf courses, the ski resort, Diamond Peak. You've got the rec center, the dog park. You've got a handful of good restaurants, but Truckee's only a 30-minute drive. Reno's a 45-minute drive. It's kind of central to everything, which is what I like about it. Small town, very quiet. Like, I think for a lot of people who have a second home, that's kind of what they're looking for, is being away from everybody, and you can get that in Incline. So it gets busy in the summer, but most of the time, like even winter, in the shoulder season, spring and fall, it's going to be a quiet town.
Certainly.
Yeah.
So full-time residents, you're looking at Truckee if you're younger.
Yeah, you'd be way better off. I think just having a better lifestyle, a happier life living in Truckee than in Incline.
Okay. Especially if you work in California.
Yeah, if you already work in California, and honestly, the difference between buying a house in Truckee versus California, I'd rather just pay the taxes in California. 9, 10, even 11, 12%. Like, it's the trade-off between what you'd buy in Incline is not worth what you're going to pay in taxes in California. So for example, say you had to pay an extra, $30,000 to $50,000 in taxes in California. It's still not going to be enough to get you the same house over in Incline. You're going to have to spend 2 times as much to get a similar home in Incline as it would be to be in. So if you want to live in a nicer home and you just want to enjoy your house and have a good lifestyle, just pay your taxes, or pay twice as much and live in Incline, and you can save on your income tax. So I would say, unless you're uber wealthy, your income is massive, or you're getting ready for a big sell off on a company or of some sort, Incline, I don't think it's worth it just to buy there for the taxes, unless you're playing at a level that's just, it makes sense. If you're saving millions of dollars in taxes, yeah, buy an Incline.
Yeah.
Even hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's a lot of money to give to the government. But anyways.
Certainly. Great. Yeah. So it's helpful to know. I live in Incline personally, as you know. It is a very sleepy, quiet, older demographic. And it's tough to find, it can be tough to find young people with families in Incline, although it's getting more prevalent. I think since COVID, more families have moved in with kids, and that's starting to become more popular.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
So expanding on Truckee versus Incline, so you had mentioned the lake access, right? So do a lot of people that buy in Truckee, are they concerned with lake access? Are they going to Donner Lake? Are they okay with just driving over the hill over 267 to come to the lake on, for a day, right? And what does that look like?
Yeah, Donner Lake's a great option. If you live in Tahoe Donner, you get that private beach at the east end, which is really nice, by the way. They just updated like their bar and grill and patio area. It's super nice. And they have sandy beaches, barbecue pits. There's a boat launch, kayak, and like jet ski storage. So, but that's exclusive to the Tahoe Donner community. But you still have all those like public docks on the side of Donner Lake. So if you're going down Donner Lake Road, or is that the road, the street?
I think so. Are those are all public docks? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
most of them are. Yeah.
Okay.
And like in the summertime, they're usually pretty packed, but local summer, it's awesome. Like jump off the pier, swim in the water, or if you have a boat, we had a boat and we put that on Donner Lake all the time. It was great, easy in and out. The boat launch was never super busy. It gets windy over there sometimes, but no worse than Tahoe.
Yeah. If it's windy at Donner Lake, it's going to be really windy on Tahoe.
For sure. Yeah. So, and then also like if you really want to be at the beach in Tahoe, like it's a 30-minute drive. Apart from finding parking at some of the beaches, it's really not a big deal, especially because a lot of people, if they really are coming up here to go like have a beach day, it's going to be a whole thing, like an all day adventure. So, you pack up the car, put the kids in there and bring lunches and just make a day of it.
Is walkability, so I know Truckee's got a great downtown. Is that a main concern for people, or is that not talked about as much? Because Incline's got no walkable shopping, walkable restaurants, anything like that. It's certainly not like Truckee does.
I know, it's such a bummer. Sorry, what was your question?
Is walkability to shopping and restaurants, is that something people value?
I mean, unless you're like right in the heart of downtown Truckee, you're not walking to downtown anyways, so you're still going to drive. I think more what people would like is like a safe, walkable neighborhood. There's really no bad neighborhoods in Truckee, and it's all safe. We don't have like high crime rate here or anything, but like you'll have a nicer experience walking the streets of Lahontan than you will, I don't know, Tahoe Donner even. But you're in the woods. Like I even say that you're just looking at nicer homes. That's the only difference. So
yeah.
I guess if I'm trying to answer your question, like walkability, like a walkable neighborhood that's not like on a hillside and you have to like climb a mountain to get back to your house. Like having super steep streets, which is like Incline. There's not a lot of walkable neighborhoods in Incline, unless you're just super fit and don't mind the hills. We're like there's only a handful of spots in Truckee that are like legitimately walking distance to the shops and restaurants.
Yeah. I guess if you're not living downtown, then it's all driving distance anyway.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to keep this one short. I appreciate you jumping on. I'm about to have to hop off and go home to take care of Banyan. So thanks for hopping on.
Yeah.
How can people contact you if they want to work with Lukas Brassie? Lukas Brassie, one of the top agents in North Lake Tahoe. How much in sales volume this year?
I'm not sure, honestly. Like, I guess I'm probably at like
over 50, right?
We're at 57, almost 58 million this year so far.
Almost 58 million year to date, 2025. Lukas is fantastic. Lukas, how can people contact you if they want to work with you?
Yeah, by phone or email. 530-412-4495 is my cell phone. You can reach me directly, or email lucas@thebrassiegroup.com, or on Instagram if you just want to find me there, at Lukas Brassie.
Excellent. Now, I'll include all of that in the show notes below for anybody listening. Thank you again, Lukas, so much. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.